There we go. Oh my God, yes. Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield and I'm a professional dance choreographer and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and we are here taking a look at Universe League, the first challenge. So I did hear from comments, thank you for these, that it was 6 groups of 7 and it's basically a draft. And so what's going to go down is we're going to review each one. I'm going to do an analysis of the choreography and the members doing it, and then I was told what the directors do is they have to pick one member of each of these groupings that is a desired member for their team. So they're scouting right now is what this is, which is kind of cool. I'm gonna be real with you. I was very, very hesitant to even consider watching either this one or Project 7 because when it comes to shows that create idol groups, I really steer away from, but the format of the show sounds so interesting that I am so tempted to watch it. So we'll see how it goes, and Ten's on it too. So I think for me, I may watch it out of support of him and Jay Park. I don't know. Jury's still out. Please keep that in mind. But we're going to go ahead, check this out, see what all the rage is about. First group looks like Thrill Ride. And yes, we're watching a fixed cam. So we're looking for a full package, I guess. It's hard for me to like react because I have a job, so I have to like watch. Okay. Ooh, clean. Oh. That's how you know they're singing live. Oh man, they're training. We'll give them some slack, give them some grace. Cool. Okay, so my vote for this one would have to go to Mr. Maple Leaf because a couple of things. Firstly, my preference and what I look at for movement is who matches the track well in the musicality front, who doesn't look awkward doing any kind of technical element of it, and who has really good performance stage presence, who's stable vocally when they have their feature. And then for me too, I'll even add this to Thrill Ride specifically. I know with the boys, my preference of mover for the boys is Q. So Q has such a degree of fullness about him that I'm naturally affiliating a boys track with for things that I appreciate, right? Now, in more recent years, more members have really become on the forefront and kind of complementing that and their movement quality, but for some of the choreography and the early works of the boys, like this and earlier, because I've marathoned them, that is something that's really stuck out in a cool way. So that's probably one reason why I may have, he may have stuck out to me, is because of his fullness and because of what I associate with the boys. All right, so that would be my vote for Team Thrill Ride. So I'm even gonna write these down. Team Thrill Ride. So whenever you guys comment, You guys let me know your thoughts, because I still don't know if I'm gonna watch it. I'm like, I'm so tempted, because I'm gonna be real with you too, because I'm watching Stage Fighter, and if you've seen my videos on YouTube for Stage Fighter, they're 3-4 hours long for the analysis side, and then the episodes are like 2.5-3 hours, because whenever I watch them, of course, I stop and I commentate, right? So I don't know if I can mentally handle this. We'll see. Anyway, but Thrill Ride, I'm gonna say Mr. Maple Leaf is his name. That's what we're gonna call him. And I've never seen it, as you guys have seen, so I'm not gonna go off of favoritism on somebody's narrative of how the show's been structuring it. Okay, cool. So we're gonna go, let's analyze it. Same choreo, we're just covering it. And they operate with, oh my gosh, boys operate with 11? Yeah, 11 at this point. So I like, he takes it, he calls it, cool. Love it. He hits it down. I like how we have some contrast going on with everybody as they swing it to the outside. They bring it in, and they go, yeah. I like the fullness of that. And then we go into not really quite a Indian top rock step or anything, but I do like how we're setting it up as such. But then we twist the hip to create a nice contrasting leg extension on that. And I like the fact here, too, that we have it. We swing, and we pull away. Spacing could be a little bit better for that. We pull and we throw it down, which is nice. And because this is meant for a group of 11, some of these moments are going to be different, not in range per se, but some of the timing has to be different, especially if you're doing a ripple or a cannon. And then also for some of the formations and dynamic choices have to adjust, because it was calibrated for a group of 11, which is a large group. This is considered a small group, so that does matter. So this right here is a little city rock with an accent point. The clap clap. This one is more of a gimmicky one that the boys did, which I find to be really fun. It vibes well with them and character. This one gives they give a very youthful vibe to it, which is cool. So I like this little accent point. You go and you go cross and cross hit it. I like to hinge it over to the front. And then we cross over on the ya. I like the knees on that. We go high to low. Notice his accents on his chest. That's something I do look for a lot of times in movement, especially if you're entertaining like a viral pocket or like party move scene of things. The chest and your groove really matter. So if you have it, I always appreciate it. And so that's something I'm noticing here, or at least his fit sets him up for that quite well. And they go, yeah, and I like that hinge around, and we accent over, and we go in and out. So I like that little dig on that. So we're definitely catering our weight, resetting the weight onto that right leg, swinging that arm accordingly, which is nice to go hit with the throw. And they go da-da-da, and we go, ooh. Then we have a nice kick, and here we go. Hit, and we go a little throw on that, which is nice. Present out, accent up with the shoulders, and then we go the ya. And we bounce it, because we're here for it. Let's go. We can go crossball change, and we swing it up, push it through and out, which is really nice to see. We reset, nice little head on that too. In and up, so I like how we present with the weight over to the side, and we rotate the arms up, which is nice to see, and it goes boom, boom, boom. I like the shoulders and how we hinge and swing them with the accents on the top. I do wish, though, that because of height for my center, that we went a little bit lower for that, just so we can see that back pulse a little bit better, but that's whatever, honestly. Because he's a feature, it really doesn't matter. I honestly would find it interesting, the fact that we did a 3-point in the back, and then we did a cross in the front, when we should have inverted the V in the back, in order for it to feel not like, okay, my back center is supposed to be my feature. So that's just an interesting note that I feel with that. I like the kick, pick it up. And I don't even know if they were in charge of song choice or if they were, I don't know any of those logistics. So there's so many things that can factor into this. All I know is there's 6 teams of 7, and we pick one person out of whatever they're asked to do. And I don't know if they got to pick what track or whatever. Some routines are like that. So the subtlety of the switch, this is a really chill song compared to a lot of boys' choreos. So I think this is a great song choice. And we dig, well, I like that choice. And we hit and we reset, hit. I like that with right there by the mouth is fun. Digging in, and I like the little reset there. And shout out to the guys. It just does feel like a smidgen MR removed. Like, good for them for singing live, because that's, at the end of the day, give it to me now. You know, like, this is a great way to practice. Put yourself out there. MR remove that bad boy, and just pull the band-aid off. Honestly, they did great. They're doing great. And even though somebody cracked, hey, it's life. So I like to switch up on that. And maybe one of the directors will empathize with that, and they want to work with somebody in that way. Like, who knows what the directors are looking for? Some of them may, some may not. I am curious if my preference is going to fall under a certain director's preference as well. I will say, I think, like, out of all the directors, I'm most familiar with 10, because I've marathoned him, right, on YouTube, for sure. So I'm very familiar with him, and so I'm wondering if his choices and mine are going to overlap. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, so I like that with the hit, and then from there, we end up smeezing it, which is fun on the reset, ba-na-na, and bring it to the other side. They hit rotate up, which is also nice to see. Dee-dee-dee, and he goes flick, flick, and we dig it down. Bum, 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 bum. I can also see if we're going to give a second place, I can see him getting somebody selected as well. Those are the two that stick out the most to me. But I would say Maples for my preference. Like I would say him. So bringing it rotating through was really nice. Now this part here, they did a very good job on it. Of course, spacing could be a smidgen better, but because this was normally done for 11, the timing's gonna have to adjust anyway. Just to the right, spacing too, you know what I mean? Hit, just to the right, just to the right. Yeah, and he was a little bit too far out to that stage right side, but that's life. Accent, I like that. Do, 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 do. And we also got to call it what it is too. It really does feel like Maple Leaf has a lot of feature moments in this choreo compared to a lot of the other members. So I think that could also factor into the desirability or the focal point of being noticed as well. Line distribution, or you know what I mean? Whenever you get a really good section of feature, that can be a moment. Like that hit, ba-da-da-da, and he hits down, ba-da-doom, over. That's technically 2 counts of feature because he did the first part, da-da-da-da-da, then he does a little movement quality, doesn't have to factor into vocalizing, so that works in his favor in performance. So I like the speed change on that. We wave it over to the side, which is nice. We body roll. He does a little double up on that, which is also nice. Feature over on the side. They sway and sway to the floor. Then Moonlight. Now something, when it comes to the boys, they're known for synchronicity, and so that is the downside you operate from when you cover a group like them. There's an actual expectation of, okay, we have to be clean. So they're pretty clean. It could be cleaner, but because of the gimmick of the type of concept that this is, there's more forgiveness in it, which is interesting. So they switch it up. I like the sweep on the floor. Then they go and they rotate it through, which is nice. They extend it. They go and they present over and in. Da, da, so I like how he flicks it down. They all press the arm out to the side. They bring it down and up. I love that. Nice little ripple on that. It's fun. And they just do little shoulder rolls. And when one person's is finished, the other one starts. So that was fun to see. Wow! Cute! That's cute. Nothing can top. Like, honestly, I still think about this. Nothing can top hot. From Boys Planet. I have seen that. It's on Patreon if you want to go see it. God, that's so good. Quality. But, so like, anytime I hear something like that, that's fine. It's not hot by Boys Planet. The Rocks are fine with the whisper. It is interesting to have to project on a whisper, but he did great. And we go forward. And you don't want to be too big either, because it's an intimate sound, so you don't want to be huge on it, but it's hard to not want to, like, go big to be noticed. You know what I mean? And that's probably, too, with our Maple. He doesn't go so full out that it's like, hey, notice me, and it's actually working against the group. To me, it feels like he's sticking out just enough to get away. For me, as somebody who's very performance heavy, into a shoot, and then it goes go, and we throw it down to the ground, and we go up, which is also nice. Da, 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 and the switch up on the arms is nice. We do a little cross, and we switch it up on that, and we go travel it through to a new spot, and you have the shoulders, and then we go down, and we cross it in front. And it goes hit, dee, dee, dee. So the little heel twist happening on that, which is nice on that part. Go in, up, and then we plant the hands up. Accent over, good contrast with the torso to the legs, and then clap. So this right there, that's a lock-in. If you're curious about that, that's what that's called. And then we hit it over, da, to me now. And I like how they over the nice little accent with the leg pickup on that. And we throw it down, also nice. I like that we take the arms through, clap, and then I like the scissors switch on that. And then chicken wing, hey! Then we go into a gangsta walk. Not really a full gangsta, because there's an ISO that comes with it. I mean, they are isolated, but there's normally like a stairwell kind of ISO where it drops and progresses. But that one was just a like courtesy nod. Into your city rock, what we saw earlier. It goes do. So like, we go out to the inside, which also looks nice. Little heart is also cute. And then we do a little switch up on that part, which is really nice. And then we do a little shoulder through on that, which is nice. Swing and a swing. And they go boom, boom, boom. So I like that right across the head. And we go dip, to swing and swing. And he goes, what? Okay. Boom. Bring it down, up, down, roll it up. And then we dab out of it. Cool. Cute. Love it. Fantastic job, guys. Okay. So yeah, but pick my person. I'll put second place, an honorable mention. I'm going to call him Mr. Bomber, because that's a bomber jacket. Mr. Bomber. Cool. All right. So our next one, let's go check it out. It is, I don't know the name of this track. Uh-oh. bless him. Oh, man. Ah! Oh! Here we go. Come on. Oh, man. This one, you gotta be careful to not lose your energy. Wow, that's gonna be a tough one to pick a preference. Okay, I think I have it down to 2. I think my guy right here, I mean, they're all in black, so what nickname will I give them? I don't freaking know. Let me see. So I'll say my guy right here, stuck on a pretty good way. There was, oh my god, there was another guy. Oh, no! Hold on, so we're gonna, hold on. That guy right here, this one right here. Yeah, this guy here. Yeah, I think it's, okay, it's between these two, here and here. Those are the two we're going to go with, and we're going to analyze it, and then I'll do my final pick, because I'm an analyst and I have that privilege. Okay, here we go from the top. Stray Kids. I've had the privilege of marathoning them as well. That's really fun. I hope I have at least seen the choreo, or I'm very familiar with the group. With any of these that we see, I had no idea. Oh, it's Took. It's S-Class. Yeah, this is what this is. Cool. This one is very deceptive in the sense of it has heavy ISOs, but you can pop off so unintentionally. This will wear you out very, very quickly. So that's why I say that. I'm very, very surprised. This is not the same as Thrill Ride at all. So I don't know if they had a choice in the song, but out of Stray Kids, this is not the most intense song they could have picked, but it's definitely not the easiest either. Okay, here we go. And they are operating with one less, so they do have a natural, like an extra degree of symmetry that they can do that Stray Kids always has to combat because they operate as a group of 8. So we whistle, do-do-do-do-do, boom, reset, like the sway over is nice, and then we hit, boom! The accent's really fun, yeah, so they drop it down, and they go, I like the interruption on that too, is really fun to see. The high to low, and we point, which is really nice. They hit it over like the swim of that, and they go dur 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 dur. So like the pop down, which is really nice. So they just accents like having boom boom boom. It's supposed to be like a knock, like you so that movement is really important to make sure it hits that imagery. My guy right here too. What am I doing? Oh, there's 3. Yeah, these 3. 1, 2, 3. Yep. They're like boom, boom, boom. I like the conversational elements of him. Hitting over, hit, and an over was just nice. Good enough. So that was fine. Cool. Like the knock on that. The throw was cool. Now, side note, if you want me to really dive into the choreo of this, outside of thinking about all the other elements, I have the Stray Kids S-Class that's on Patreon already. So you can go look at that. Full analysis for that. Boom. Now, what he sticks out here, he sounds like one of the members, like either Sungmin or IN. Like he actually has a tone that matches the type of track this is, which is very surprising. First Class, he could get awarded for that. Now he matches the lowness that you have to go when you pull a Felix tone. And that is really hard when you cover Stray Kids. People expect there's certain aspects of this track that have the lowness, like Felix's voice. He's known for that lower tone. He hits it pretty well. So that he can get rewarded for range. Like for me, I'll be like, I like the fact that the song, like, you guys match this song very well, so it makes me excited to know what else you can do. You're very versatile, if that makes sense. So my guy right there, I think, is becoming more of a front runner, because I think he gets featured again, but he doesn't have to go that low. So his range in vocals is very nice. And it goes over. Here we go. He's a little bit too fast on the tone for that part. And the switch on that, da-da-da-da-da, and they go dee-dee-dee. Me ba ba da 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 ba it in night. The S and the T. Oh man, I'm still like trying to decide. That's what's really hard. The S and the T, so very precise. S and the T, but it's gotta have hypeness, some drive behind it, right? So the little heel rotation out of that's really fun. This is a tough group. Come on now, this is fun. He has a lot of feature moments, my guy here, so that can work in his favor. Showcasing stability. Down and up. I like the little reset there. Good conversational element. Walk, walk. Yep, boom. Little dance break. Oh, hold on. Oh no. I think I am gonna go back and review all of this. It's just because I'm sheerly trying to find who do I want to pick. Okay, I've picked. I want to pick him. That's who I'm picking. Okay. Let's go back to the dance break and actually talk about it. Here we go. We have this chorus. We're just gonna keep going and then we switch it over. Yes. We're gonna call him, oh my god, what nickname do I give this boy? Okay. Was he... So not that. So we have, see now, this one is such a hot mess, this analysis for this one. I'm so sorry. So he does the little Ian Sungmin vibe. Class, first class. He's Mr. Felix. Okay. There we go. S class. Boom, 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 boom. He is Mr. Well, what kind of textile is he wearing? I don't know. That's life. Double it up. I really like this part of the choreo a lot. S and T. It's just so hype. Yeah, and then they heel twist to bring it up, which is also nice. He knows how to regulate his energy. I think that's the thing. Yeah, and we're gonna say with Mr. Felix plus multi-textile. Yep. I don't freaking know. I don't know his name. That's a terrible nickname. Okay, here we go. Boom, boom, boom. I like the head. Helps complement that. Good visuals. This is just good choreo. It's just, I like it. Throw it down. I like the twinkling in. It's nice. I think, what, MOTF did this one? They go down. Nice little come up. And then Baekhyun did the first one. Okay. Yeah. I like the knock on that. Here's dance break. Let's talk about it. Boom. We special. And we throw boom. And then we body roll. We go punch pulse. And then we drop it down. We hit it out. I like the little kick on that to help boot that. They go up and around. The throw through. I like having the contrast with the high-low levels on that. We reset. I like how he knocks it. The hinge around is nice. Down, up, boom. Swing, swing. And they go bring it up, down. I like the extra head that we're seeing right here for my guy. That's cool. And bring it up and down, up. I do like his fullness over here. It's nice to see. But it doesn't feel, I feel like I like conversational fullness. I think it's something that's more of my preference, but whenever I think of Stray Kids, maybe that's what I'm projecting on here too. It's nice. They go high-low. I like his jump. He hits down in accent, which is really cool. I like the hit ha. I really like the little extra pulse on that. Low, mid, high, punch, punch. Come on now. We turn. Counting stars. And this switches with the switch. I love that everybody's on the same page on the head. The head is so nuanced, but it's so important to that part. and then melt it down. That's me. You have to have the same energy as you did before. I like the little lean with the head on those parts. That was good on his part. Good. And I like that Remy. Yeah, that's who I'm going with because he caught my attention there too. S. I like the S-T. I like this reset on the weight pulsing that he chose to do there too, which is cool. Heel twist is cool. We go out, down. Okay, cool. I feel much more comfortable with my choice. So I'm going, he's multi-textile. I mean, all of them are, but when I say that, I'm thinking like, it's like a windbreaker and a regular, I don't know, kind of, polyester or cotton or whatever. It's like, yeah, it's like nylon and polyester put together. Yeah, and then he also did the Felix section too, which is hard to hold. Like that's just hard to do. Like I can't do Felix's section, you know, and especially if you have like a higher tone regularly, that's tough. So that's a good, having a lower register can really advocate well for you, especially if not many people can do it. You're going to be a little gem that people are going to fight over. So that'll be my vote for this one. I would say honorable mention were those other two guys, but I think all of them, if I'm being honest, have really good quality. So I hope all of them get advocated for in some way. So this was a fun one. That was hard. Okay, here we go. Next one, Love Shot. EXO, another Baek Koo-young choreo. Here we go. Ooh, this one's more, it's tension, so it's, if it is Love Shot by EXO, let's see. Somebody already caught my attention. I'm curious if he'll keep it. Oh, they're all wearing straps, so that makes it hard to give them a nickname. Uh-oh, that may cost him. Good head ISO. Great movement quality. I listen to stability too for this challenge. Because to me it shows if it's really hard to maintain your breathing, you're using your energy in the wrong places. Who are doing the ad-libs? I know my guy right there with the perm. Hey. Huh. Oh, this one's tough too, but for different reasons. This one had more stability issues, so it was harder for me, if that makes sense. Okay, going back. Oh man, do I have to do a second watch? I don't want to do that though. He had pretty good stability vocally. It's really hard to hear him, if I'm being honest, for this section. Great movement quality, but I couldn't hear him. So that's such a checks and balances thing. Who did the ad-libs? That's what I need to know. Because there's nobody that really like sticks out in movement quality aggressively with stability. Maybe my guy right here? He did pretty good, my guy right here. Who ad-libbed? It was him. But was that backtrack or was that him there? I have no idea. Because if that's the case, he made up for it. Do you know what I mean? That's what I don't know. What's backtrack and what's not? Are they allowed any backtrack at all? I have no idea. Oh, man. Okay. Here's what I'm going to say here, and then we're going to analyze it, and then I'll give, like, an honorable mention. There's like a plan A and plan B for this group for me. Okay, plan A, if they have no backtrack, really, and so that whole ad-lib was him saying it on stage, then he redeemed that. He redeemed the fact it was really hard to hear him for the na 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 na. That's a really hard thing to hit. Doing this down na 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 na. It's so freaking isolated. And I would give it to Mr. Perm. If it was backtrack and he didn't actually hit that and we just couldn't hear what he hit, then maybe somebody else. I don't know. Okay, here we go. From the top. So I'm going to go with writing for this one. This is what? Love Shot? Yeah, Love Shot. I'm giving it to Mr. Perm. He was in the first chorus, but I don't know. I don't know. Okay, they go burn. They knock it down on the gong sound. It's cool. And we walk, go out, and they bring it in. They push it over to the side, to doon, over and around. I like that. The branch away is also really nice to see. I don't think Love Shot, I'm trying to think, did Love Shot have a dance practice? No. I think they did. Maybe they did. Possibly. I've covered it. I just don't know if I can't remember. Oh, they don't, I don't think, because it was a live performance they analyzed, I think. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, EXO, they're not the best when it comes to the dance practice side. They switch up. Here we go. Boom. Hit butter. Okay, he's pretty stable there. But he didn't catch my attention from the jump. It was actually my guy right behind him that did. But now that I'm looking, now I gotta verify. Down. I like the accent over and the hinge around's really nice. I like the speed change on that. It's cool. He matches this concept well, and I like the fixed point of his hand. That's really nice to see there. Oh. The rock on that is cool. Also, how he hits it with the switch on the torso. So I would say movement quality, he is my preference. I think what really turned me off of it was his first chorus vocals. But I think hearing all the other vocals, that's a hard chorus to actually hit, and I don't think anybody hit it. And so it's more equal. The pulse is fine. Yeah, pulse up. I think my guy right here is marking it too much. Yeah, boom, where the roll up is nice. Spacing's could be a little bit better. They also put the tall guy in the back center, which makes sense for symmetry, but it doesn't work in his favor when it comes to being looked at. So that's the downside for that. If they had control over that, that would be, if it's up to the choreographer, that's life. That is a downside, though, of being tall. So he is, though, featured a lot in these little partnering sections, though, which helps. And they bring up the energy. I like the opposition. Body roll. Boom. The throw is nice. It's the Love Shot. Boom. He hits it. I like the charisma on that. Oh, you can hear when he cuts out. Okay, he's being strategic on when he's actually hitting it. He's not holding the whole note, which is why it sounds like it's cutting out. Okay, fine. That's my vote as Mr. Perm. I feel comfortable. I feel way more comfortable now actually like processing what we just watched. Cool. Rotating it through. And I'm such a fan of the head ISO on that too. It was really nice. Oh, it's the Love Shot. Boom. I like his energy and pulse on that. It's cool. Na, 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 na. But it does feel a little bit on the stiffer side though. The little and the head accent is nice. Na, 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 na. Nice little head knock on that. Oh, it's the Love Shot. Honestly, I think this is a clearer shot of the Love Shot choreo than EXO doing Love Shot. I think it's kind of funny. He may get noticed right here. I think, wasn't there a B2B director on this? Now it's like Changsub, right? Changsub may notice my guy right there. I think that would be really fun because he has really good stability for hitting high notes like that, considering all the tension they just did. Yeah, so nice. It's like he has a lot of projection there, so that's cool. He also has a hairstyle that works for his favor too, because this is a different textile. So it's more memorable too. I like the switch up on that, which is also nice. The bounce is cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why do they only have 6? Oh, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is it really 7 groups of 6? And I just lied this entire... There's only 6 people. I'm a freaking idiot. I'm so sorry, guys. I did my first 2 analysis of like, oh, there's 7 people. Oh, there's whatever. There's 6 people. It just took me 35 minutes to get there. Lord. So they go and they spin it around, pick it up. Good feature moment. He did a really good job. He held his own very well for this feature. The throw, yeah. He goes, and this really made him stick out because the ad-libs are really strong. And then you hear the hey, hey over the now. Yeah, that do-do-do-doon up. Cool. So I can kind of hear the natural leaders of each group kind of coming out. He feels like a natural leader when there's more responsibility on his line distribution to hold it down, but that's a higher chance for him to get looked at for this, right? The head ISO was cool, high-low, and I felt that way with the very first group with Thrill Ride with Mr. Maple Leaf. So I'm very curious if that is going to work for them. Boom, the hit, accent point, the rotated, I like the tension on the speed on that. Hit, hit, knock, knock is nice. He goes, yeah, nice little wave of the head, and then he goes subtlety. He goes, la. They hit it over, nice little slow run. Oh, it's a love shot. And they hit it. Cool. Yeah, I feel way better about my choice. I think I'd feel pretty good about that. Nice. Yeah, so Mr. Perm would be my choice for that. Do I have a honorable mention? I think there's certain qualities of other members of this group more equally that I could feel it swing with others. I think whoever did the high notes for that da 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 like that part in the column, that he could be somebody who's a contender. And then I would say my guy I think he's one of my tallest guys over on the far stage left side. He stuck out in a really good way in the beginning, and so I wonder if that could really help him. And then my guy right here with this kind of blonde swooping at the end, I could see him be a contender too. But my personal vote, if I was a director, I would go for Mr. Perm. Okay, here we go. Next up, Boomerang. Is this from oh my gosh, it's Daniel's old group. It was a survival program group too. Forgot the name of the group. Oh goodness gracious. But we know there's 6. There's 6 people. I can count now, everyone. Ring, 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 ring. Boomerang. Nice. Nice, nice. That guy right there did well there. He's sticking out naturally. He's tall too. That guy in the... Wing, 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 wing. There is somebody sticking out to me, and I don't know. I don't know if he'll get picked, though. But he sticks out to me, though. There he is. Yeah, yeah. Wow. Okay. I do think it was a risk for anybody who chose to do the ring, 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 boomerang. Because when your diction is off, it can affect that, right? So, okay. The person that stuck out to me, I need to go through and double check to make sure, because there's two guys in these types of full fits. I think it's him, though. That guy right there. I don't know if he's the one that clocked it first for me. He went really, really full out near that ending, though, so he's like, final course, let's get it. Yeah, I gotta check it. I gotta check it. Let's see. He also did very well, too. I think he stuck out in a good way there, too. Yeah. Ooh. Now, I do feel like my guy right here that's up, he may be up for a lot of people being like, yo, I want you. This is where when you have too many lines, it can work against you, because he started to crack near the end. Like, I heard that. But some of them had just enough lines in just enough places, right? But I don't know if the guy that I picked would be considered, because I don't know how much he was featured, though. But his performance quality is really, really nice. And whenever he had his moment, though, yeah. I don't know if that was my diction preference. Like, I am a stickler on that as a native speaking English individual, and knowing how they said it. Boomerang. Like, it sounds like the word boomerang. It doesn't sound like the diction's off. And so that's where we're going to hold them to the same standard. If you're going to have, out of all 6 people, you're going to... Yeah, there's 6 people. I literally just had like a midlife crisis again. If you're gonna have 6 people, and I don't know if they get to choose, pick somebody who can say boomerang. Like, but that could just be me. And maybe they can say it, and it's just in the adrenaline, it's just bad things happen. Yeah, my vote's gonna go to my guy right here. I really like his movement quality, and anytime I saw him featured, he held his own very well stably. So I don't know if it was out of strategy or what, but he really popped off at the end to where you went, oh. So I think this one felt the most strategic out of them all. So I'm gonna give, oh my gosh, what should we call him? This one's Boomerang. I'm glad I've seen this one, even though I technically haven't analyzed it on YouTube. I've seen it because I've played Pump It Up, and I'm so used to this song. I've played so many step charts to this song. What should we call him today, guys? Let's call him Button Up Curtain Bangs. We're going to do that. Button Up Curtain Bangs. Yep. Love it. Cool. That's who I'm going for this one. Cool, but I can see honorable mention, my tallest guy. I can see him being sought after as well, but he's my preference today. Okay, here we go. Actually talking about it. So they bring it over, boom, and the pulse, pulse, pulse. Nice and full, very strong start from everybody. The wave out is nice, the drop and the level. Hit, hit. I like the pulse, pulse on this too. They hit, boom, boom. Another pulse to isolate to the chest. Ring, 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 boomerang. That right there, it didn't captivate my attention, unfortunately. It wasn't a boomerang. Like, there's a way that it is set, right? That has its iconicness about the word to the track, right? So it just sounds like boomerang. It doesn't sound like boomerang. Like, it doesn't sound gimmicky, right? It just sounds like a word. And that's the same thing. It's just like doing choreography without a lot of texture in it. It just looks like choreo. It doesn't look like it means something. So that's going to be my note I give to my feature there. That's just a personal thing for me. And you have an isolated pelvic thrust. I don't know why choreographically in the original we have that. It's just not, and it's never been my preference on how isolate, like it's just so boom, boom. I don't know why it's there. I mean, I feel like it was just to be different or whatever. Whatever though, that's fine. They did a great job on it, the different directions. So he hits it pretty well, especially knowing that my previous guy didn't captivate my attention personally as much, because I can only go off of my feelings. It's subjective for this. The criteria is make me with my subjectiveness notice you, right? And so for me, I try my best to understand what do I look for, and I try to be best to articulate that, so whenever I see and I pick who I pick, I can be justified in my own right for my selection, but still respect other people's preferences too, right? So anyway, then we hit it over, and then hit, and so bring it down back, they bring it over, they do that boom, 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 boom. The fullness on that, it just felt more like choreo. But it could just be the choreography itself. That's the tricky thing about this. down, up, and it goes up, and it boom, 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 boom. Little heel toe, heel toe. You go. That's cool. I like the little hop hop on that. It's cool. Very placed on the boom, 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 boom. I think it could just be choreographically it's clean and clean, but I will say this though too, that I come from the position on I am just as constructive to the idols executing choreo as I am to the choreographer. A lot of times with the choreography, if I'm in a position where I have a choice, if I'm learning choreo, if you've seen my just takes, you may have noticed this at times, there are going to be certain nuances and textures that I adjust in order for me to feel comfortable doing that move to that part of the track, if that makes sense. Because if it's super staccato or it's not as full as I feel it needs to be from what I'm used to seeing, I'm going to go more full so it fills up the music to my preference on how I hear it. And so that's, for me, I kind of would prefer that when I see groups cover choreo. There's a way that you can still maintain the integrity of what the structure of it is for the vibes of why the choreo is there for the group, but also you can make concessions on the bodo, doo-doo, like bleed through the movement, but still keep the movement, right? To where it matches how it's arranged for you. But that could just be me, a super tall order for a survival show. Like I'm asking, I'm not going to sit here and like force them into that, but it is something that I do think about at times because I practice it myself. So like that part I think is an example of what I just talked about. Oh, hold on. I went to, hold on. But, that part's fine. And, notice that it goes da-da, da-da. That is very crisp versus a bodon, dodon. Like just how the sound feels. It feels like there needs to be a residual dodon accented with a little bit of breath in it. But that's just, once again, me, whatever. And the gun, it goes, and they hit over. I like how he brings it in. So that was a fun little choreography moment. Let's go. Now the moment, yeah. And Michigan, hey, I like how he says, hey, let's go. Hey, and then he is very, very strong. Probably one of the most stable out of the entire routine was this part. I don't know. No, so having other support sounds really nice. So that was nice. Whole moment, go back in. Snake, snake is good. So he's doing great. Like thus far, very much you want to like look to him, right? He does good too. Very stable. But for me, performance quality doesn't project as much for the type of track that demands it, right? So it definitely just gives a no, no, no. Like I'm doing the part that you're asking me. It doesn't feel like I'm owning the part that you're asking me. So this is a really, really tricky one. Really tricky because these are all like, I don't know the logistics on, maybe I'll watch it and find out, but I don't know the logistics on, did you get to pick your song? Did you get to pick your group? You know, that kind of stuff. What endearments were you allowed, because that holds you to the responsibility of what you're being asked to do. So if they were just randomly assigned, they had no choice, they had no choice in song, they had no choice in artist, no choice in costuming, no choice in concept, then it would make sense why you would naturally see these things. But if they had a choice, if they had a say, that does make us go, okay, then we can hold you accountable to matching that concept because you chose it, right? So, but that's what I'm going into here, is saying we're not ignoring that. Really nice fullness. Da 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 da. He held it down well. Really cool. Flip, 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 flip. High, low. I really like his fullness, and I feel like part of it, I mean, I know sometimes whenever you have dancers or members who are more on the lower, not lower end, but like on the shorter side, they feel like they have to overcompensate in movement. I've noticed that sometimes with a lot of idols. He does it in a conversational way. It doesn't feel full out for the sake of it. It feels very placed, very accented, very texturized. And that's probably my preference is conversational, right? That's cool. Hitting it over. Wing. That sounds like wing, not ring, but that's life. Boomerang. Boomerang. That sounds like boomerang. There's their pelvic thrust on that, and they bring it over, down, over. They also, because of, they have those in the all white, and then the two with completely buttoned up, they low-key make them kind of operate at a disadvantage because the white does pop behind the black background. Hit an accent, and hit, hit, boom. I will say, out of these, I do like these two, but the reason why, I think, because both were very stable. He was very, very stable, but he has the movement quality that I think if you just put those two together, that's who I'd pick for sure. Boom. Da 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 boom. Da da ba da oh yeah. Yeah, the accents with the pot with the hair with the oh my gosh with the reload. So there's a lot of that kind of overlap, which is really fun. A little boom 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 boom. That sounded like boom, 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 boom. It's, once again, it's a diction thing. Yeah. Boomerang. Once again, I feel like there's more guys in this one than not that aren't captivating on this concept. He captivates pretty well. I can, like, being very honest, I personally would not pick him out of everybody, but I could see him being picked for sure. Little ponies are nice. Pull through is cool. And then we basket run. Oh my god, the basket runs. Very strong, Staveley. I need more performance. He goes, what? Good charisma on that too. And we walk. Ha. Yeah, he ends up doing the same thing, I think, twice, right? Let me see. He does it twice, so it feels rehearsed. It doesn't feel normal as a feature, because he ends up doubling up something that normally becomes a mannerism of feature. So he has another feature moment. You see, you're starting to hear that it gets harder. Like we check it more and more near the end. How stable are you? Because that shows to me, because he was stable in the beginning and not stable here, even though what he's being asked to do, I don't personally feel is as much vocally demanding as other facets could be. We didn't best utilize our energy output, right? And that's something that for me I would want to look for, is who can manage their fullness and their stability well, because this is not a dance competition like Street Fighter. This is a full package idol competition, right? So that's what I'm looking at. So it really matters here if I can have to hear you catch your breath to continue on. Yeah. But then he walks through and he goes the same, he goes the opposite direction in the first time, but still nothing. That was nice. Da-da-da. Look at the fullness, my guy. Come on. This is where you gotta go in at the end. It's either you match your energy or you elevate it. Yeah, you can hear the breath. You can hear the fatigue from everybody. He has to hit the high note. Good job for him. Taking responsibility for that. That's a hard ask. Very strong. You can see him being a contender. Okay. Nice. He holds it. He's still doing better. So even my guy that I was like I could pick. So listen. Oh wait, we didn't listen. Hold on. Back. So full out. My God. He broke just the baby bit at the end. But for how full out he's going, I think in my head I'm like, I can cut him some slack, because he's freaking popping off. He is popping off more than the tallest member. That, to me, I can always ask somebody to dial it back. I can't ask somebody to go more full. I'm telling you, I've worked with both. It is way easier to ask somebody to chill out more. And that's something that I would ask him to do. But to me, I'm like, as a director, I'd be like, I'd rather take that. And he broke a little bit less than my other guy, who broke a couple times in his section. He broke just a bit near the end, but I think in my head I'm thinking, because he's going full out more than anybody else here, I do feel like that could really, I can pull him back and that can fix the stability problem, is what I'm thinking. Because he's still going full. Pull through. It's cool. So I know sometimes some of y'all may be like, Jess, you literally said the opposite for the last one. Why are you all of a sudden saying somebody sticking out and going full out? He didn't technically stick out in a way like, in the first chorus and you see somebody going really, really, really full and everybody being super subtle. That's not really what that felt like to me. He matched his energy the whole time, and at the end he elevated it, which is what you normally want people to do, versus being the same, being the same, being the same, being the same. We appreciate the consistency, but going more full at the end definitely works in your favor more than dropping out, right? So, and this is also a different concept, different costuming, different choreography, and different physical demand. So it is okay to expect subtly different expectations for it, because this was tailored to a different boy group than the previous three, right? So I think it's all that, remember, is subjective. It's okay. So we're going to go ahead and move on. So my pick right here, like I said, is Button Up, Curtain Bangs, right there. Really cool. Honorable mention has to go to my other Button Up guy, because of his stability for his part was really, really cool. All right, next up we have... Replay? They're gonna expect them to sing this live. If you're gonna do it, it's Gen 2. Come on. Woo! You hear if we're having stability issues now, something has to be adjusted, right? Nice. Oh, this one's gonna be tough. I got like 3 people. Nice. Mr. Ginger's doing good. He's doing great. Nice. Yep. He's got a lot of lines. Wow. I would want him to actually dance it more. Oh, there we go. Oh my God, yes. Oh, I have my person I just picked just from that alone. Oh my God. He did a freaking rock and a groove in replay. Oh my God. Okay, okay, so if you know, I know that the vibe is okay. We pick, like directors pick, and then they have to like return, and if there's multiple people, it's kind of like The Voice almost, right? Where you have, if there's multiple directors that want that person, they therefore get to pick. I would advocate till the day is long for my guy right there for a couple of reasons. Because literally at one point I was like, okay, he's got the vocals. I know he's going to be desirable because he's very stable and probably one of the few that can hold the runs through pretty well live. He was one of the only ones to do this and do this in his walks. That filthy, sir. So this right here, out of everybody that I've seen so far, God bless America for that. Okay, so replay, I'm going to call him, oh, hold on. He would be Mr. Quarterzip. Mr. Quarterzip. And then slash Mr. Run. I'm calling him Runs because he does all the runs in the track. He held a lot of vocal responsibility, and he ended up not doing a lot of the dancing compared to everybody else. So that could work against him, and I was working against him until I saw his groove. He grooved, everybody, and y'all know if you saw me, and you see how excited I am, you saw me in the very beginning title performance, I was like, that's what I'm looking for, is got a groove, and that's what we saw, so that's somebody that I would advocate for. It was my dude right there. So right here, very nice and full, holds it down. Love the poses are really cool. I've also marathon Shiny too, so I know exactly, and I've done this dance, so I know exactly what we expect on this one. Low, run, up, down, and slow speed change up, over, which is cool, heel, toe, up, then we switch, up. I think Reno Nakasone was the one who choreographed this too. Boom, boom, and I like the little over on the side, which is fun. And I like from there, he has a nice little rotation. He held it down so well, I would give him an honorable mention, Mr. Ginger. He did very, very well. I like that. Notice, we chose to do a groove even when we're facing the freaking back. Oh my God, yes. Down, up, and I like the heel twist on that. We invert, we lean. I can even see from the back. Oh my God, this is amazing. Amazing hit, boom, sarangin. And then he does the first one, they join on the second one, they hit it back. He's nice and... He's not the most stable, but I mean, he held it enough. It was okay. I like that they got to sing together. It was fun. Oh my God. And they're having him back center so much. Let the boy groove. Come on. Yes. Oh, it looks so conversational. Oh my God. I think he does it better than Shiny did. I mean, real. And I can say that I've marathoned all of Shiny's work. I know. That was from like 08. It's okay if he dances in 2024 better than how Shiny did in 08. That's fine. Taemin was 14. We can get over it, okay? He has the groove that I wanted to see in Shiny's replay. After doing all this, yes. No, yeah, but he makes it so conversational and he's compensating accordingly. Have I found my favorite person so far? I think so. Yes. He adds groove to the freaking Shamrock. Yes, as you should. Replay. Very nice and smooth in connection. Yeah. I like the high and low. Not the most stable, unfortunately, for my guy right there. No. And down. Nice. Replay. Nice. And they go and they sweep it around, which is nice. He goes, yeah. Nice. It kicks on that. He's taking a lot of lines, too. Like the pose is fun. He held it down very well, too. I can see him as an honorable mention. My other two guys in white are really nice. Oh, my God. The press on this with the kick, rotating it around. Yeah. Yes. He's ready for MR removed. Come on now. I like the add-on here. 2, 3. Da-da-da-da. Boom. Nice little party moment. Switch over. I like that press on that, which is cool. They drop it down, which is also nice. Head and bring it down through. Come on now. Hey. Yes. I like the little extra on that, so that was nice to see from my guy right there. So it's nice to see my dance feature, but his vocal, I think, overshadowed his feature right there because he's right there in the front. Yeah, the oh. Wow, and then you have the replay, and then the 2, replay. So that part of it comes from the fact that vocal stability in a live performance does matter. It's a priority. Not only that, you have to hold it down in movement quality, and unfortunately, I don't know if my guy right here, the ones that ended up, my 2 guys that did a duet near the beginning, and then them as individuals, unfortunately, had a lot of areas for growth, which is the beauty of shows like this, is it does expedite your training process for sure because of the saturation of where you are and the inspiration and the give and take on how you're receiving stuff, right? So he's still saying he's still vibing it out. I think my one note I will give him, though, and I would say this, is that I really do wish he integrated himself in the dancing more so we could really see that tested. Because everybody else did. He's really the only one that didn't, but he did hold it down vocally, so, like, I get that. But I appreciate the risk-taking of this, too. I don't know if they were the ones in charge of arranging it. I don't know any of that. If he was allowed that, I don't know any of that information. It's just so interesting, though, right? The cross to the back is nice. Then they go da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And they have that replay, little accent point. It goes, eh. This part, watch. Oh, God, watch this. Okay, ready? Here's what you're going to look for. You're going to look, and you're going to see his head in contrast with his torso, and you're going to see this kickball change. He is adding groove, and that's where groove comes from. Boom, boom, boom. Please look at it. And then from there, he's going to end up, he ends up adding a body roll near the second half. Ready? Watch. Look, back. Watch the body roll. With a head ISO to accent it. That makes me mad. That makes me mad in a good way. Come on now. Everybody else is... I liked his choice. My guy in center looked really nice. The clap is nice. And also the fact that my quarter zip guy is in a darker fit with a darker background and he still sticks out this much. That's impressive. Impressive, too. That speaks volume, too. Your costume will influence how people look and perceive. That's been tested. There's so many case studies on it. The hit low, which is nice. The nice little step tap on that looks really nice too. Little fixed point looks fine there. Yeah. We walk. And we have this da-da-doom. Sheesh on that. Okay, yeah. So he's getting, he would be, if I could advocate no matter what for someone and if they get multiple votes, I would be surprised if he didn't get more than one director wanting him because of his vocal stability for starters. But also, I really, really enjoyed his grooving. The fact that I can even say that in the show. Thank you for that. Okay, cool. All right, we have 2 more. Here we go. Whew. I'm liking the fact I know all the tracks so far. Okay. This one, what is this one? Cute. Nice. Ah, da 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 ba ba. Oh, who does this one? Universe Boys. I know this one. Ah. Only. One and only. Is this Boys Next Door? It is what it, yeah, okay, it is Boys Next Door. Nice. Shout out to Lauren for the Patreon request, so I wouldn't know this song. Thank you. This is so fun. We get Gen 2 to Gen 5 represented. That's so cool. Okay. So I think for me, the person who sticks out initially would be my guy right here in the blue with the white. I mean, my other guy's in blue and white. Also, my guy in yellow did pretty good too, but I wish my boy here went more full. I think that's my one qualm with it. That's why, like, I can't 100% be like, ah, that's my person that I'm picking. It ain't like Replay it was last time. Yo, goodness. Okay. But they operate, honestly, this one is the closest you could get to simulating a legit cover because it's the same number of people to Boy Next Door as a group of 6 too. So that was really cool, really fun to see. So right here, from the jump, I like the head nods. Na 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 na. Head nods are fun, like the wave. I love the interactions, is cute. Yeah, so notice though, this is very fascinating, right? Different concept than Replay. Replay was very conversational, you can make a lot of concessions depending on the move that you're doing. The structure of this choreo is different too, right? So certain things that may work in another concept may not work here. So what he's doing, I like his choices, but I don't think are properly calibrated to the type of gregariousness this track has, the more positive tone of it. But he does a really good job of the performance, so I think that really does help. And he was very stable on his features. So that's why I don't know if I'm going to be like, I'll vote for you or advocate for you, or not, you know, at this point. We're going to kind of diagnose it. But the guy in yellow, he also stuck out, but could it be because of his fit is different than everybody else's? I don't know. We're about to find out, though. Nod, nod, nod. I like the head rotation on that's really cool. The pick up on that too. He says brush, brush, brush away, which is nice. We do a little I like how we swing it up. And they go beep, da da dee. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, so you have the yeah, not quite as stable on that tail end of the yeah, but he was stable for most of it. He cut off the tone on that part. Yeah, bug your bet. So I like the phrasing on the lyrics of it. This is a really good song. I think Boy Next Door, they have a really good discography from what I've heard so far. Da 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 ba da da. It's just very playful, and so having a very playful tone about it looks really nice. Very full, honestly. He danced that very full. Like no one was outperforming him, and he was the feature there. So that to me, I would give him a look at that. And I would honestly tell everybody else, come on, square up. You gotta up the energy. If your feature is hitting this, we expect our feature to modify, not elevate what you're doing, right? So it's at least physically. So that's very interesting. That may score him points for me. Come on now. Universe Boys. The hit over. I like the little fan kick. He did great there too. That's stable. He did well there. Oh, now it's between three. I think it may be between my two guys right here. I think my guy in blue, because he didn't go super full out when I think it really would have worked in his favor. I don't know. The kicks are nice. The kick, the tap's fun. Marches are fun too. Oh, he's full there. That's good. Hey. A little bit on the shaky side there, but I like his charisma. He keeps it pretty stiff in the upper body. That makes sense, though. Remember, I know this is a survival show, but because if I'm recruiting somebody, who is a diamond in the rough? Like, some people are going to look, okay, who has amazing potential, but they have this one big thing that's lacking? And I can help with that. Everyone's going to be different. Ten's going to be different than Changsa, right? For me, I'm going to be different than all of them because I come from a very different background, which is super cool. But there is some overlap because of analysis, right? So whenever I look, what I'm looking for, what I'm learning about myself as we're watching these, what I'm looking at is, okay, who has stability or who is smart enough right now to be stable in their vocals and do what they need to do in order to present a performance when it's their time. That to me is one thing, right? Because everyone's given the same amount of time to practice and refine their tone. If one person can be stable on the track, it's either everybody's stable or nobody's stable. If I'm noticing no one is stable on the track, then to me, I feel like, okay, we got to look at other elements because the track is just that hard. But if everyone's stable except for you, then I'm like, something may be off on how you chose to delegate your energy, right? That could be your area of growth. For me, I can work on movement quality refinement all day long, but it makes it so much easier. If I'm picking a group to debut, like I'm building my group to debut, I'm going to look for who is set up for the most degree of success for the types of things that I can see them in the future really sticking out. Like, what is that star quality to me? Are the things that I'm looking at are like your movement quality, how you're using groove, authenticity of style, because that is going to get you out of the Reddit. So the Reddit, trash talking that people do, right? That's why people go on Reddit anyway. But, or like you're not going to be the subject of criticism for not having a groove when you're doing a groove-based, routine, right? So I find that to be very interesting. That's something that is a preference to me. And then who knows how to regulate themselves well, and I can come alongside them and help them make that more efficient. That's the kind of role that I am in certain things, and I can clean choreo all day long. So that's why for me, I think that's who I'm naturally leaning to, is who has those things that I know take a long time to fix compared to other things, right? So that's what's really nice. Down over with the knock is fine. I love that. But he's way more stable here in this section, so that's cool. We like that. Yeah, very stable. Right, you know what I mean? If only he went more full, it'd be a clear winner for me. Because he matches the concept well, too, based on how he's performing. You know what it is? I think my preference out of the two, Mr. Patchwork and then Mr. Yellow, the reason why I think I'm preferring Yellow is because Mr. Patchwork looks like he's giving heavy flirt in, like, this is it's flirty, right? It's youthful and flirty, but he's giving more flirty, I'm pretending to be youthful, but I'm a flirty guy. It feels that way to me, but also I'm an adult who hasn't lived this youthful life in a hot minute, but that's how it reads to me, so it doesn't feel as convincing. That's Mr. Yellow. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, but his fullness is really great. That kind of stuff, I'd be like, yes, that's what I want to see on the boys concept, because you know how the boys are. They're flirty at the wazoo, right? So I think like there's certain movement quality fullnesses that can converse more effectively in other concepts. That reads more there to me. The Yellow works. It could be because of fits. We have to chalk it up to that too, is that I'm a human at the end of the day, and when we associate fits with certain expectations, we do, right? So it could be very simply off of that too. Did they get a say in their costuming? If so, then that's just say he could have picked a different outfit. If he didn't, then that's not really his fault, right? But I hope he gets picked up though. So I really like his quality. Ooh. No, they're right next to each other. Okay, here we go. What are we doing? So I like everyone has a little pop-up moment. Yeah, little Dougie was cute. Nice and full was also nice. Knock, knock, nah, nah, I hope both of them get picked, honestly. I think both are great. Yep. Nice. Nice. The great fullness here. I know some of you are like, Jessica, analyze the choreo. I've already done that. It's on Patreon. And only. So, but I do like the pickup on it though. And right here, I'm picking who I want to recruit too. I have a different scope when I'm operating. I'm not analyzing choreo as much. The pickup is fun. The kicks are fun. The pickup is nice. One and oh, he held it down pretty decently too. The little boom with the swing. Oh. I like a little pot of beret out of that's nice. I like how he had his moment. He matches the concept so well. Go more full. Pick back. One and only. Yeah, so personally, I would either of those guys would be my choice. So if I put one and only, I can see the picked up for different reasons, because when you think about Boy Next Door, they go as full as Mr. Patchwork does. So if we're going off of who matches the actual like Boy Next Door doing it way, and I gave my notes about Boy Next Door anyway, so I would say that huge contender for that. Overall vibes, I like the vibes of Mr. Yellow and Mr. Yellow. So those would be, I mean, that would be tricky yeah. So those would be my two I would pick out of everybody. I would say Mr. Blue. Oh, so close. But so far. All right, we got our last one. Siren. I'm assuming this is Rise. Oh, this is going to be full out. This is so full out. Oh my god. We're doing this one? See? Sirena! Wow. This choreo is so fun. Whoa! I like how he held it. Wow. Wow. go! Oh, Lord have mercy. My God, that is so full out. God bless it. Okay, so I have contenders, and it may have to be going through the analysis because it's really small differences. Okay, when it comes to fullness, fantastic work on his fullness. I would say he's so freaking stable, very captivating in that right. And I would say he had my preference on how he held Siren. Siren! Like, I liked hearing it. Versus Siren, I felt like they went here and then that can be a very easy fix, though. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, I digress. But those are my 3 contenders so far. I mean, everybody held it down very well, but those were my 3 that were like, yo, pop off. This, oh my God. Like, being real here. Like, if they all picked their songs, they freaking decided to kill themselves with this track. Good God. Like, Thrill Ride is so not the same physically demanding as Siren is. At all. Even if it's your bread and butter style, it's still very fatiguing. And they were very stable consistently, which is very impressive. So if we're going to give like a team award, I think they would get my top team for stability and fullness and all that. So I would say team award. If that was a thing, team awards, which would mean that this one should be a pretty difficult time finding like picking between people, would be Siren. Because I got 3 people that are strong contenders for different reasons. And that's what makes this fun. Okay, here we go. From the top. Here we go. Josh Price choreographed this, which is just, oof, just so freaking full out. Here we go. We present. Let's go. Boom. Go high, low. Nice little chest. Really nice. Very stable. Filling up, which is also nice to see. And I like the hinge around with everybody. Looks great. His projection's fantastic. Like, that right there is fantastic. It's how you say the words, too, is what I think can really sell it. That just sounds like he cut it out, right? And I think that was my negative here. I love his full-out energy. It's so good for this track. But I think if we're looking at full package and I have to pick one person, that, to me, could cost him my pick, if that makes sense. But I commend him for this, and I really hope that that he's picked up by some. I feel like everybody gets picked up, right? At some point, it's just who gets the first dibs. I don't know. Yeah. Fullness is really nice, but that to me, because he's going so full, but we're cutting out in the vocals, it feels like to me he's choosing dance over vocals when it should be both for this challenge in how I'm viewing it as a director, right? Let's go. I like his tone on this. Good tone. But I think because of who he's next to, he gets overshadowed in movement. And that's such a tricky thing. It's like if you're not going to overshadow vocally, like in Replay, you have to overshadow in movement quality in your feature, but still be stable. Such a tricky balance. And people don't tell you this. Like, they're not going to sit here. These directors are not going to sit here and say, here's exactly what I'm looking for. It's and it's like 5 pages long. They're not going to do that. They may say something very, like, politically correct. That's what we've seen so many times. Or they may not say anything at all. I don't know. Or they may say something that's actually constructive and very beneficial. But I would honestly be surprised. But this is SBS, right? Yeah, I haven't watched an SBS survival show before either, which is probably why we're introducing this type of concept. I don't know, though. Maybe I am tempted to watch it just from the sheer interest on how they would be picking these guys. Anyway, I like the switch. He's very, very strong. He was the first person that stuck out to me on his feature in a great way. He looks like he's cutting out catering performance over vocals. It's so hard not to. It's so hard not to. He does really good. But one fun little like twinge texture on the end of his tone. They go high, low, like the columns. They go high, low in the transition. I love this transition. It's so fun. He is aggressively stable, which is very interesting to me. And I think that can, some directors maybe pick it up on wanting that for sure. But I'm selfish. I want both. Yeah. He goes very full. He holds it down. He doesn't look muted. And when he chose to do Siren, it didn't sound like we cut it out as much as the first guys did, to me. Because I could hear the, it sounds like an intentional hold. That, I'm hearing the little buzzing sound, which is what made me think, he is not going he's going, he's closing it. But my first guy, it went siren, and you heard this like, this sound where it's like he's just out of breath for that part, right? It just felt like that. It felt like that. It's subjective, remember. It's subjective art. His fullness was so freaking sick there, though. Golly, we gotta give him credit for that. That's freaking dope. Hurry, hurry down, da-da, ba-da-do. But you can hear that his vocals are affected by that. But some people may not care. That's true. For me, if I'm getting it down to 3 people that are my contenders, like that to me is a thing. And it looks like he got a little bit late, and he's like, Meanie. It feels fatiguing, but he has to sing. It's that. So that to me is like, as much fullness as I appreciate from this is not a dance cover competition. This is a performance survival competition where your goal is to stick out. He's choosing to go more performance on the movement quality side, not on both sides. But he is holding it down better, despite how full he's going compared to other people that didn't stick out like that in other tracks, which is very impressive. Hence why they get my team score, right? If that is a thing. Like he holds it through, which is great. That was cool. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da, say bye-bye. He doesn't cut out once, to me. My guy in the black and white, and he's operating at a deficit, even though he's got the white working for him. He's in a black jacket with a black undershirt. Everybody else got a red. But you also have red that's accenting in the lighting in the back that can take away from the red, too, right? Just like if you're wearing black on a black background, that can work against you. So there is some subtle contrast that he's operating from because of the white against the black and the red. But I digress. Kick. And then we go, going down. He's very strong, especially the second half. He stuck out to me in a great way. Into a little Dougie is also cool. I'm looking at whenever you're not featured, how do you showcase yourself? His just flowed better to me. So the Siren Award goes to my guy here. The pickups are really nice. They dig it down, which is also cool. I also think I like my guy. I think I'm going to pick the black and white jacket guy because his nuances in his choices, I think, are my preference too. The claps are nice, they're full. The step out is cool. Da-da-da-da-da. And he hits it there too. So it feels at this point, because he's been so stable up until here, in my head, I'm going to associate it. Doesn't feel like he's as fatigued as a preference choice, not a he can't hold the note choice, which is a good position you want to be in. I like the tap there. It goes wicka wah. His fullness, golly, if you need a main dancer, he's giving that energy for sure. Love that. Into a nice little stall, which is cool. They bring an over speed change. Love that choice. Yep. Hit it over. So I guess for me, if we're thinking strategy, if any of these guys watch this and they know English, I would say my guy right here, my suggestion for him for this would have been wait to go super, super full out until that moment. Because that moment is a performance moment that we don't have to rely upon the vocal stability, and I'm not factoring that in nearly as much. And you have really important vocal parts that do matter that you wouldn't have sounded as fatigued on, because I'm projecting, and when you see somebody go really full out, you're going to listen and become more sensitive to how vocally stable they are. I do. And so I know for you guys, especially if you guys watch a lot of MR Removed, or when you watch a lot of crew, this is a crew choreo. It's Josh, right? Josh was part of S Rank. They are freaking heavy in the crew choreo sense of things. Very full out, very difficult to do, very polyrhythmic, right? So this is a very difficult routine to do well and clean, but also have stable vocals. Hello, like it's crazy, right? So all that to say, I really do feel that where your placement in your energy output really is more sensitive on this one for the reasons that I said. Even though he can go full out the whole time, it's great, but his vocals were sacrificed, and that can cost him some of the directors. When you're being compared to others, his subtlety is fine there. But when you have other members of the group not go subtle for their feature, that works against you. It may have worked on another track, but not for this one. That's the interesting thing about this, right? Yo, we want, boom, boom. We hit it over, come on. still just as stable, and he goes even more full near the end. That, to me, is selling it. Roll it back, and then you hear a breath there. But he folds and he holds it out. Come on now. Now, he's doing much better here. Hold it down, and they do it all the same. Yeah, which is all really nice. He's so stable. Like, it's so interesting. I think the difference between my two guys here is that Siren preference on how they sing it, but also he has more captivating performance quality to my preference on what I look for a track like this and concept like this than my guy here, which is why I would pick him. Honorable mention will go here and here, respectively. If you want stability, winner chicken dinner right there. But if you want performance quality, winner chicken dinner there. So we have 2 honorable mentions, but I have a pick. So Siren is going to go, for me, it's going to go black/white racer jacket. And then the honorable mentions are going to go to Mr. Full Out. I'm just going to call him that. Mr. Full Out with highlights. Out with highlights. Boom. I don't want him, for me, I always come from the position is that learning how to strategize when your full out happens, but I don't want anybody to like negate the beauty of the full outness because there's so much beauty in that. And it really does help enhance the live performance aspects. Mr. Full Out with highlights and Mr. Siren / stability. Goodness gracious. This is cool. But I would say out of the 7, this one to me is crazy. I would say S-Class is also pretty wild too. But yeah, so I think I feel pretty good. Pretty good. So we're going to go, let's go back. Ready? Okay. We're going to go through each one. We're not going to, it's all their ending positions. Okay. When it comes to Thrill Ride, Mr. Maple Leaf right here. Honorable mention was Mr. Bomber. Those were my picks. Next up for S-Class, I had the guy who did the Felix part plus Textile. We're seeing if I can even remember them. He was my pick, and I think I like reiterated that pick quite well. Next up, we have, this is Love Shot, Mr. Perm. This one was interesting for different reasons because some people had my attention, but then others through the analysis. He gained me from the analysis. Now, would I have picked him just from the first watch? I don't know, but he really does stick out in a great way here. And this is why I like the full cams because I don't have any camera manipulating my perspective. Yes! Okay, so that's who I would pick there, Mr. Perm. Boomerang, I picked Mr. Button Up Curtain Bangs. So that was my guy right down here. He gives me a mix of, there's a certain person that goes that full out with that type of like stature. I think it's Hwaung from Oneness. He reminds me of him in a good way. It's cool. All right, so that was my pick, but then I also had my other guy because of his stability in this one. That was really good. And then from here with Replay, no freaking, like for me, this was like the strongest yes to me is Mr. Quarter Zip. Good God, that was fantastic. Okay, but everyone did very well. I'd say Mr. Ginger can be that, he can be the honorable mention for this one for me if I needed an honorable mention. From here, for one and only, I would say it really is a huge preference thing. Basically, the day of what I'm given in scope of what I'm allowed would determine who I would pick from this. I think when it comes to, and also too, if they wore different outfits or if they wore the same outfit, who would stick out? I couldn't tell you, but I would say he had really good, he reminded me of Boy Next Door. So if we're going off of that, for sure, great performance quality in a great way. He was really good on the concept justification, on the type of concept it felt collectively with the group specifically. So that's what I find interesting in this. My guy here felt like he was with Boy Next Door. He felt like he was with everybody else. So I don't know which one I would prefer, but that's why they are kind of interchangeable for me out of all of them. So sorry, that's technically cheating, but yeah, as director, I can do that. Haha. But whereas an analyst, I'm not technically, I have no skin in the game. Okay, when it comes to Siren, oof, golly, yeah, I went with the black and white racer jacket. Honorable mention being Mr. Full Out with highlights for the performance side, but for the vocal side, Mr. Siren and stability, his preference on that second, I think it was what, second or third course. But yeah, this was so much fun and I would love to hear from you. This is actually going to go up, if I can get it passed on YouTube, I'm going to get this up pretty quickly, probably same day that I did the title performance, just to hear from y'all. And y'all let me know on the episode side, how is it looking? Like, is it actually decent? Is it, are they mistreating them? Because there are some competitions I refuse to watch because I don't want to fund abuse. Even if the contestants are good. It's not fair to the contestants for me to fund that through my viewership. But here, I think out of Project 7 and Universe League, the one I would watch would be Universe League, because Project 7 is too close to Boy Planet, to like the ranking of individuals like that. This one feels very team oriented, and it feels like the directors actually have a hand in helping. It doesn't feel like we're just critiquing based on structure thus far. It feels very much like we're building a team and we're drafting, right? And because that feels very like American football-esque to me, I kind of feel like that kind of vibe. I don't know, but you guys let me know. With that, I know a lot of you are like, Jess, watch it, but it's just, I'm going to need a lot of convincing because I'm very sensitive to idol survival shows. But yeah, anyway, y'all know me, I know you, I'm Jess. Thank you for watching. I'm excited for the commentary, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye.